What's going on, my beautiful people, on all social media platforms? This is your first Genzio news, and I am so happy to be joined by Marcelo today. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing amazing, brother. Happy to be here co-hosting with you, one of the greatest hosts of all time, and I'm excited to cover the crypto news of the day.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, I gotta say, like, I get to hear your beautiful voice all the time, but getting to see you is rare. So anytime I see you streaming any games or anything going on, I try to hop on. Maybe I don't say much, but I try to be there for you whenever possible.
I appreciate you, brother, as well as I always try to pop in on some of the spaces you're hosting. Seems like you're hosting one almost every day, and you're absolutely crushing it, man. You're
At least, man, at least once a day. But like I said, this is my wonderful co-host, and I'm the other co-host because ain't nobody in charge here. We're just gonna follow a piece of paper. I'm totally joking. I'm probably gonna deviate completely from all the notes and actually have a good time telling you guys what's going on because that's usually the way that things kind of go when we're hosting. Well, not so much Marcello here. He's pretty good at staying on topic. I'm the one that goes all over the place. So talk to me here. You excited about this?
I'm very excited, man. I think this is needed. I know there's a lot of different things happening in the market on all different sectors. We got DeFi, we got RWAs, deep in AI. There's a lot to talk about, action. So I'm excited to get into it, man.
Bro, there absolutely is. You want to kick us off? And I just realized, you know what I should probably do? I'm gonna get something here set up where I can actually do sharing of my screen and make things look pretty. So let me go
Absolutely.
ahead and do that for us because you know how it goes. Media presentation.
It's all
Again, we're
about
doing this a little bit on the fly, not gonna lie to you. But we're gonna make it happen because we always do. What's the first piece of news we're going over?
we got all kinds of different stuff. We got macro and financial markets. We got here the stock market today. Would you like me to share my screen, or I'll let you do that as well?
I am putting it up for you right now.
Beautiful. Also say this for the audience. I want to mix it up a bit. If you guys have any topics that are going on in the market right now that you want us to go over, or you want to give a few tidbits, drop them in the comments. We'd be more than happy to go over some of the different stuff. So for today's first article, macro and financial markets, overall, it seems like U.S. equities reversed earlier week gains with the S&P 500, Dow, and the Nasdaq posting losses after Iran-linked oil price spikes and Fed-related inflation worries soared risk sentiment. So there's a lot of going on, obviously, with the climate, the climate with war going on in Iran. That's obviously been impacting everything that's happening here. It seems like it does seem like we ended on a loss here. So stocks reverse strong start to week. They hit the year lows after the Fed warning. So not a really great start of the year with all this stuff going on here. Uh, but yeah, man, what are your thoughts on all this, brother?
Bro, in relation, like this kept going, right? Like, I think that's the other piece that we kind of sometimes forget about is that there's more than meets the eye and it just keeps getting worse, right? After this piece of news came out, we had the price of oil continue to go up because people were not being nice to one another and decided, there's oil there. Let me go ahead and make sure it's on fire. Again, we are on YouTube, so I'm trying to avoid saying a few words. If you guys
Absolutely.
catch my drift, I'm trying to avoid it at all costs. But that's really the approach here. Is really I don't think things are going to get better. I think they're going to get worse before they get better. So just be on the lookout for that. That's the best way that I can say it. Because I don't have high hopes of things literally turning around overnight unless there are more negative things that kind of come about. But in the same token, like we saw, crypto do a pretty decent run only to come right back down. Do you know what that was all about?
I don't know what's going on, man. There's so much stuff happening right now. Definitely, it's interesting how, the global markets impact all of this stuff. It also makes me think, even just going back to troubling times like the COVID times, I remember crypto was kind of doing its thing. So I'm kind of curious to see how all of this happens. At the same time, crypto's very easily, everything could sway very quickly as well, the opposite direction.
Absolutely.
So that's something that I always try to keep in mind as well.
No, you're so right about that. Now, something to keep in mind here is like the why, right? Like you bring up the what happened with crypto during COVID times. I mean, that was obviously because the printing machine was going burr. There's no question about it. We got to figure out what's actually going on in the markets now. I'm pretty, like, I would say 90% certain that the reason why will happen was because of the announcement from the SEC and the CFTC, because that was pretty darn big. If you guys missed it, they actually named all of these assets here not securities. They are commodities, which is a big deal. But when the announcement came out, people were selling the news because they had already bought the rumor beforehand. And that's usually where the problem comes in. People are just, kind of taking advantage of whatever they can when it comes to these markets. So my question to you, Marcelo, is can you go around this thing here and tell me what each one of these guys are?
What each one of these guys are? Well, apparently they're not securities; they're commodities.
No, no,
I
you know what I'm talking about. I'll give you the first one, the top left hand corner, and we can go clockwise here. That's Bitcoin. That little B right there.
absolutely. We got our favorite Bitcoin, the big godfather of all cryptocurrencies. Then we're followed by Ethereum. We got Solana, XRP, Polkadot, Hedera, Litecoin. Is that Bitcoin Cash, the green
It
one?
is.
It looks like a Bitcoin Cash to me. Which one is this one, my friend? This looks like I know I just named Hedera. That looks super familiar though. Could it be Could it be Stellar? I'm blanking out a little to
It
the other
is
ones
stellar.
here.
Good job. That's it. You
I don't
got
know
it.
the one on its left. That looks super familiar as well.
Aptos.
Aptos, amazing. We got is that Shiba?
It is
Obviously,
Shiba.
we got Shiba. Is T I know the one that starts with a T. Tezos?
Tezos.
Tezos, Chainlink, Doge, Avalanche, Cosmos, and obviously back to Bitcoin. So I think this is a really bullish news. There's been a lot of different stuff happening, obviously, over the years. I know even with XRP, we could talk about that in a bit. But I know with them closing their whole situation with the SEC, that is also very bullish as well. So I don't know. It's exciting to see everything that's happening here. And I see your little comment. I don't see Cardano on there. That would be interesting to see on there too.
Oh yeah, because they folded. Yeah, that was you don't want to click on that because like the comments on that one are not very kind.
Yeah.
No, but I think Charles is gonna be really upset with you, Marcelo. Not gonna lie. Um, how in the world did you mistake Cardano for something else?
What did you say? Cardano?
I
Which one
didn't
was
say
Cardano?
anything. You said it was something else. I didn't catch that. It
I
wasn't it
heard you
wasn't
say
Chainlink.
Aptos for a sec. I don't know. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, the one right before Bitcoin. That's Cardano.
Right before? Oh my God. I'm sorry. He's gonna absolutely be mad at me. So I'm still waking up. I'm having my coffee here.
No, all good, all good, all good, man. But yeah, there's a lot happening, right? Like that's the thing to keep in mind. Like there's always some kind of news, something going on out there to actually be on top of and figure out what's actually happening day in, day out. The next piece of news that I want to make sure everybody understands and knows about here is what's happening with US stocks. Because, dude, like kind of crazy to think about like where the world is today. And yet, here, this is what it looks like. Click. U.S. stocks end higher. Treasury yields gain after Supreme Court strikes down Trump tariffs. This is what was going on, right? So we got this up and down, up and down, up and down. This is back on February 20th. So this is literally 1 month ago. And we saw people just get excited, like, hey, the good things are staying, the bad things are going. And war.
It just really goes to show how fast things could change. 1 month in crypto
Yes.
is like a year. It's really fascinating as we really in this at this time we were like, all right, all things are good, and now here we are breaking World War III out here pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, talking about 600 gains here, like which is awesome, but like this is not even crypto either, man. Like that's the wild thing about it. Like people are just out there making these crazy moves without even being in crypto. Like to me, like these kinds of moves usually happen in our space, but we're
Right.
seeing this correlation where it's going against. It's almost like we're influencing the major markets as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, it's crazy how all that works, right? And I don't know. I'm curious. Again, we said this was a month ago. Now with everything going on, we don't even know what will be in 1 month from now on March 20th. Literally.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. We're in
Now,
interesting times right now.
if you think about it, this kind of goes even beyond that, in the sense that yes, things are moving, yes, things are changing, but where does this actually leave us as far as assurances of like how quickly things are changing? That's a piece that kind of boggles my mind every time. Is like, in what is not being talked about.
Mm.
That's the thing that people kind of forget. I can't say this, what I want to say actually, because we're on the YouTubes, but I don't want to get in trouble. But obviously, you understand what I'm talking about here. Like, some things have been forgotten about simply because we have made the decision to go at it with somebody else. Don't is my main recommendation. If there is something that's going to distract you from something else, always keep paying attention to that something else, because there is an impact. There's things that usually matter within those realms. But let me keep going here, because um, I want to talk about Pablo Escobar's bank. You know which one that is?
Is that the HSBCs of the world?
It is. It is. That
There's
he
a good documentary on that if you guys haven't watched it on Netflix, by the way.
really. I haven't seen
There's a
it.
whole documentary on the whole. I forget what it was called, but I think it was a docu-series, and there was an episode on the whole HSBC scandals that they were, working with the cartels and laundering,
Scandals. They just like making money.
and they like making money.
They're
It's
still doing
business
that
at the end of the
today.
day, right?
They just call them legal now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's wild, man, to think about this. But yeah, as far as what they've put out, and this is something I actually recommend people actually checking out, because there's a lot of these resources out there that people kind of forget about. But so HSBC has their, asset management that provides investment updates on a monthly basis. Really awesome to read. Do they always get it right? No, nobody ever gets it 100% right, but it gives you a ton of insight into like what they're looking at, what's going on. 316Z is one of those other ones that people always talk about. They always put out reports, but all these institutions, guys, if you're seeing something on like Twitter, for example, 9 times out of 10, people are grabbing it from these reports. People are
Mhm.
not creating original content anymore. They're just tweaking the things that other people have already created. So this is the place that you get the information first, to be honest with you. So taking a look at these things is always a lot of fun. But we got a lot of it, and there's a whole PDF that goes along with this. That's where I would look at. They talk about the uncertainty likely to keep the Fed policy on hold coming months. Basically, we don't know what's going to happen, so people just stay put. Ton of little things going on. Again, this is like a standard now. Talk about AI boom in the market. Like, yeah, sure, we all get it. We know how this is working. And there's a ton of information here. You're going to see a ton in regards to the equities market, bonds market, and so on and so forth. The cool thing is that they actually go in depth into things that I personally care about, which is really exciting. Like, we're talking about gold and oil in this report. Obviously, that's of interest, I guess you can say nowadays. Pretty important. And crypto has, well, okay. So the idea here is that gold and oil are going up, they're stronger, and crypto's weakened. I think that the narrative that people sometimes forget about is that we can have two things can be true, right? A lot of times we're kind of looking at what's this or what's that. No, what's it all look like? Because if you take everything into consideration, you can actually make some pretty powerful moves if you're paying attention to both markets. Sure, oil markets are going to go up. There's no question about it. And I am talking to somebody about oil on chain right now. You'd like this, Marcello. It's on AVAX actually.
Mm.
Um, so again, sure, crypto markets might be quote unquote down in comparison, but if you can match the best of both worlds, that's a huge win. If you're talking about tokenized gold, for example, that's another huge win. And that's what people don't always think about, is actually looking at how do things actually cross over. And I highly recommend taking a look at this report. The website stinks. You got to get the PDF. That's where all the good juicy info really is, how it's laid out. To me is the best way to go about it. But if you just not only look at a singular thing nowadays and look at how one market might affect other, that's where like the gold gold. I was gonna make a joke about gold there because gold, and but then I was gonna say oil, and then I was like, God, this is gonna go downhill quick. Let's not go there. Um, but when you're dealing with these commodities, right? You're talking about gold and these other commodities that are out there. Like, now they're being tokenized. There's a big opportunity for people to actually take up, a position in crypto while Steam still being on regular markets, which is long coming, I guess is the best way I can say it. Are you in it at all, Marcello, when it comes to commodities on chain?
I really need to get more into that.
Hey, lie to me. Come on, lie to me. Lie to me.
I'm I'm all into it. Action. That's all I've been doing. By the way, shout out to GMB in the comments. One of the homies. Yeah, it's really interesting that you say that, right? I think diversification is key. I think being all in on certain things is great, but also in the age of uncertainty, to quote the article you just mentioned there, things are definitely uncertain, and you want to be able to leverage these different opportunities, right? Whether you're getting into commodities specifically with gold or oil, or you're doing that on chain, I think it opens up a lot of different opportunities considering where the market is today. If if I held just Bitcoin over the last 6 months, I'd be down only, right? But paying attention to what's going on right now in the world, I think that would be a great opportunity for a lot of folks to diversify and to maybe to get into other on-chain assets. I know that RWAs right now is one of the fastest growing sectors within crypto, and with the idea that things commodities and assets like gold and oil have been going up during the times that everything else has been down, really opens up the door for many different opportunities, I think, that folks could really benefit from. So something I definitely need to get more into. Is that something you've been dabbling with yourself, Action?
Me? I've always been in commodities, man, even before crypto. But when crypto came into the picture, it just allows me to get in and get out of things a lot faster. So yeah, definitely exploring that realm because it's one of those things you can't go wrong when it's you're trading an asset that you know and understand. And I always tell people this as far as investing is concerned, like trade what you know. Like don't
Mm,
go out and like start making these wild calls based off of some random YouTuber that you just started watching, 2 weeks ago. Try to actually understand the markets you're in because that's how you make good decisions is actually having a good understanding of what you're actually playing with. Um,
that's some
you
good
want to
advice.
since I'm bringing in crypto already, I got a fun one. And again, obviously, it's not on that document that Kinga beautifully provided for us to kind of go over some of these topics. It's better. You know where I'm going with this, right? You can see the
Yes,
preview on the
where
bottom.
you're
You
taking
see,
us.
you see the little Mark Zuckerberg right there. Here,
Let me see.
pop.
Oh,
All right, so Polymarket just in
we
that
had to talk
announces
about
they'll be
this.
shutting down the metaverse after pouring 80, I can't even count that many zeros into the project.
It looks like
This is
80.
not the news. This is not the news, Marcello. That's the best part. This is the news for you right here.
Also, gaming on blockchain is not coming back, says Lily. Are we cooked, chat? Are we cooked? No more gaming on blockchain. Yeah, it's really interesting to see this, especially over the last, I don't even know how many years.
You,
Let's say
you know
since
who this is,
COVID.
right?
Say it again.
You know who this is, right?
She's the president of this. I can see right there, the Solana Foundation.
So
Oh
if
man,
she's saying this, I guess she's not supporting it. It ain't
yeah.
happening. What now?
What now? I think we're cooked,
Marcello's out of
man.
a job, guys. Please send tips, send money. Boy needs to eat.
Western gaming is dead, chat. Um, yeah, no, it's really interesting, especially seeing how much money he's put into it over the last couple of years. I was a little, taken aback by that. I looked into the headline though. From my understanding, I think it's Meta Horizons or one of their biggest flagship metaverse games that are no longer going to be in development. But yeah, it's a big step backwards from the whole vision that Mark Zuckerberg's been preaching for the last couple of years. So I'm really curious to see where this goes.
I'm really happy that you looked into the actual news about this because that's a thing that most people don't do. They read headlines and they run with it, right? But Facebook shutting down is the next thing that's going to come out. I was like, everybody's saying that. Like, come on, really think about it. They're really focusing on the hardware aspect of things. Like, they're making a boatload of money when it comes to the Quest. They lower the price, so their idea is to get this into the hands of as many people as possible. Their own internal project, yes, they're killing it because they're not seeing it be viable as other applications, as your I mean, you have already metaverse applications that are on the Quest, for example. So they're just allowing these third parties to actually create the games, and they're going to focus on the infrastructure aspect of it because that's where they see the money. That's where they see them making it long term. Because if they're getting a portion of everybody's, payments and things of that nature on their platform, they're winning anyway. So why spend so much money and focus on creating something on their own when they have other people that are doing it way better? Kind of where this is, kind of going or what I see, how I see this actually working. But let me do
I'm also
this
attempting to
real
share
quick.
on the topic of meta. I felt like this was super relevant. At the same time, while that is happening, we're seeing Meta acquiring things like Moltbook, which is essentially a social media platform for AI agents for those that have been using
Oh
OpenClaw.
yeah,
So it's been interesting, right? Kind of taking a step back from the whole, not completely, right? Guys read beyond just the headlines, but yes, there's been a bit of a step back around the whole narrative of the metaverse. AI has been the hottest topic right now, and yes, this is also not on the agenda. We're steering the ship a little here, but yeah, I just felt like it was super relevant to kind of pay attention to where their eyes and their mind is right now. The whole topic of the agentic economy and AI agents is a very big one, and we're seeing here that there's a big pivot here that they're really paying attention to the whole narrative around super intelligence being part of Meta, and the whole thing happening with AI agents right now. OpenClaw, Claude, the list goes on. There's a new tool every day, it feels like as well, which we'll get
I
into
see them on
later.
X all the time.
All day,
There's
all
a
day.
new tool on X every day. I'm
Yeah.
talking about people, not actual. Never mind. Um, real quick. All right. What monitor are you gaming on? Because that looks like a ultra wide setup
It
you got
is
going on there.
huge. It is huge. I got a 36 Dell something monitor here, so yeah, it's not the best when I share my screen. I'm sorry.
No, no. So what I was going to give you a heads up on, if you just put it on the side and just shrink the window size, it looks perfect. Like that's what you got to do to make it look better on. We're screen sharing here. Yeah. See. Look at that. It looks
No
beautiful.
way, bro. He's giving me all the alpha, and I can see
Oh,
both of you. Let's
sorry.
go. I love
All
it,
right.
man.
Let me set the stage up for this. So apparently, people think that it's important to go to exchanges and see what they're talking about and what's actually going to do well during the month. And crypto.com, use coupon code ACTION if you're signing up. Actually, that does work, by the way. I do have that referral code over there. Nobody's going to read the whole article, so focus on what matters. Key takeaways. These are the ones that they actually posted: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Chainlink. Um, I don't know if y'all seen the markets, but it's kind of funny. I will tell you, I don't necessarily agree with all of these for the month of March, simply because of how the market looks right now. But I would recommend not steering too far away from Doge, or at least paying attention to it. I have in good authority that friends of friends of friends are ensuring that people talk about it. So if you see
Okay.
an uptick on Doge communication on X, it's on purpose.
Okay. Okay. Action's giving us the action here live on stream, guys.
I never said anything.
He never said anything. Don't play this recording back, guys.
Exactly. Exactly. Now we're talking. Yeah, I mean that's the idea. I mean, just focusing on the markets that actually matter and that you understand. Again, you got to look at narrative right now. Just because markets are pooped, um, we're dealing with something way more important than crypto right now in the world. So whenever this stuff like that happens, people are just going to default back to what they know. And narrative is the only thing that's left for crypto when markets are so shaky, right? You're going to see your Palantirs of the world skyrocketing. Don't get me wrong, but on your commodities world or anything that people are using day to day, it's going to slow down. Things are not going to look as good as they used to. So keep that in mind. Any info here? Anything to say in regards to the top five based on crypto.com?
Yeah, I'll stick with the first two. I feel like, the Bitcoins and the Ethereums of the world are usually probably some of the safest bets you could put your money on within the crypto landscape. Obviously, there's so many different bets you could play on. It will shuffle, right? You got your XRP, Solanas, etc. But I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are the two safest bets that you could ever have right now. And yeah, to me, I'm not shocked to see. Obviously, within the current landscape, everything is pretty much down. So it is surprising to see, that we do even have a top five list. But typically, you'll always mostly see Bitcoin and Ethereum around those charts. So I'm not really surprised at that part, but it's just been interesting to see the last month where everything that's gone on. So yeah, just something to keep in mind, I guess.
So something that he did mention, just so you know this, it's kind of cool. They did talk about how AI and deep in markets are actually a really good entry point, and there is opportunity there, and we can see it outperform even crypto itself. Just the infra for it. I will also, again, if you guys want some real deep insights, I can talk about this all day. I won't, because I'm probably going to bore most of you with it, but it's important information. I would say that over half of your Bitcoin miners right now are not mining Bitcoin; they're mining power. The idea is that they're leverage, they're hedging their bets right now with Bitcoin miners. So you acquire power and then you leverage Bitcoin miners so that you have a either net zero or profitable you know business to a certain extent, but they're not really looking to make a bunch of money off the Bitcoin miners right now, which is the crazy part of it. They're just looking to secure power because power is becoming more and more scarce, and the rate at which AI is actually needing
Mm.
power and data centers to be built is kind of insane. So the idea is maybe I don't have the funds or I don't have the contract for to build infrastructure for AI. However, I can mine Bitcoin and be profitable still, not as profitable as they want to be, but they are going to be profitable, which is why they're leveraging Bitcoin to, essentially establish new locations and secure power until they can actually do data centers and things, that are at a bigger scale. Again, I think acquisition is a lot of people's game right now. People are looking to get acquired because they know that, if you're sitting right next to a substation and you have access to power, people are going to want that land. People are going to want to have what you have. So that's kind of what's happening in the Bitcoin world right now that most people will not disclose or even talk about. But that's where they're at. Do you know about this one?
I Not as much as what you just said. I definitely understood that like AI is going to eat up a lot of electricity, and it's something that I've been thinking a lot about. But it's the whole when it comes to mining Bitcoin specifically, that's something I think a lot of people should know. So thank you for sharing that action.
Absolutely. Um, yeah. What do you want to talk about?
So much going on, man. What's on Action's mind throughout everything that's going on? I think there's so many different things happening right now.
Oh, I'm just living life, dude. I can't complain one bit. I'm basically retired. I almost said the other word. Sorry. Um, guys, my goal in life is just to make Marcello laugh.
Yeah, he
This
definitely
is
does that a
amazing.
lot.
No, like dude, I'm pushing forward with so many different initiatives around the globe that it's different. I guess is the best way I can say it. Like I'm not stuck in one single market. Like I'm dealing with countries around the world and dealing with people building things in different continents, shipping it elsewhere. I'm talking about market entries in South America, Africa. I have a couple of things going on in the EU, a bunch of them in Asia. So like my view of the world is literally a world view, not what most people kind of tend to be is their own little worlds, right? So I get to see the good and the bad. There's definitely ugly things going on out there, but for the most part, I've been focusing on the good ones and trying to bring healthy infra to countries that don't have it yet. Again, obviously contracts like that are always profitable, which is a good thing, which allows me to stay retired. But at the end of the day, it's to me the exciting part is by seeing the adoption of new technology across the globe that actually helps people, which is I know a cliche thing to say, but it's not necessarily about the money for me. It's about seeing really cool stuff happen because who gets the opportunity to go to a freaking president, shake his hand, and say, "Yeah, sign with us as your official crypto advisors"? Like that's just it's surreal. Like I can't describe it. Uh, and I've been blessed to be in the position to do some of these things, and it's I don't know, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it. It's exciting, but it with great power comes great responsibility. So people look at me like, "Oh, you're loaded." I'm not loaded, guys. I'm literally not doing this for the money. I have partners who are amazing that actually ask for money. I forget about the money all the time. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to get paid." This is to me is not about the money. It's about the moving forward and actually seeing some really really cool people grow and take it to the world stage finally. And how do I even say this? When I see third world countries adopting technology that let's say the U.S. is hesitant on, that gets me so excited, man. Because then it's like they're gonna have to play catch up, which means that you're giving the little guy a chance to not always win, but at least stay in the game. You know what I mean? Like that. That to me is the exciting part of it all is getting to see global expansion as a whole and see people take things to the next level. And this is going to sound even wilder, but the reason why I like that so much is when you have these smaller countries and these smaller entities kind of get to the global stage, that country starts to win. poverty goes down, people get jobs, people start having things to do, having a way to actually provide for their families. Like that at the core, that's what it boils down to. Do I make money off it? Sure, I make money off of it, but as far as what the net benefit is, it needs to be positive across the board. I'm not never looking for I need to win so somebody else has to lose. I'm looking to win with others winning alongside of me. So that's kind of my MO and how I operate in the space. Maybe it's boring, but it A pays the bills, and B, I sleep so well at night knowing I never rugged anybody.
I love that, man, and yeah, man, I feel like it gives purpose behind so much of it. Making money's fun, but I think being able to make a positive change is incredible, and I love that, man. My mother comes from Peru, technically, I would say a third world country in South America. I got many friends in Africa, and just developing parts of the world, and I think there's a lot of underdogs there, man. And I think what's really fun, I think, with all this stuff that happens in with this technology, it's given the power back to the people in many ways. So it's exciting to see all this stuff, and I love that you're doing that for a lot of folks, man. And I'm really bullish on that, man. I think it's great to see the diversification of opportunity, and
Oh yeah,
being having folks being able to have benefit from the fruits of the labor that I think a lot of us have benefited in the first world. So I absolutely love it,
bro.
man.
Like I'm trying to help people. Even like I got a brand new. I don't want to call him an assistant. He's a G. That's working with me. Shout out Janu. He's in the Philippines, so helping me out now. Like whenever I can, like hire people in any country. Do you know what third world actually means? Because I got a message from somebody going, "Oh, you're calling people third." Do you know what third world actually means? I just got a DM.
It's a term that we throw around, but a lot of these third worlds aren't, and anywhere near what we think of a third world. But
I
what
love
is the
Marcello's.
definition of what?
Marcello's like, let me fill this sausage with nonsense because I don't know what it exactly means. Now, it means absolutely not much these days. So first world, the United
Yeah.
States, second world, Soviet Union. So anyone that was not associated with either one, the first or second, are called third. So like Peru didn't get in a war. They didn't do anything stupid. They didn't want to pick sides. They're like, you all do your thing. Like we're chilling here. We're hanging out with llamas and eating, oversized corn. Um, that was literally is that a
Well, the
good
corn is,
Peruvian?
the corn is oversized. I love it. For those that know, they know.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. So it
Yeah.
doesn't actually mean anything bad. But yeah, guys, it's okay to call some, a country third world if they actually are.
Yeah, no, it's fine, guys. I mean, my family's from Peru. I'm not. Oh man.
You can't say that, Marcello. That's like saying I can't be racist. I have X, Y, and Z friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm
That
caught
doesn't work.
red-handed.
That doesn't work. All right. So, this is somebody actually we're starting to work with at Genzio, Mexi. Bro, I've made so much money on Mexi. I've lost so
Mexi.
much money on Mexi.
That's a classic one. We love Mexi.
It comes and goes, man. And we will Mexi. I still have an account that I haven't been able to unlock. So shout out to Mexi for unlocking my account and stop charging me a monthly fee of 10% of my crypto, which
Yeah,
I don't even have access to. There's at least like 5 grand in there. I swear.
there's at least.
Oh man, let me pull this up here. Pop. All right, key events that could move crypto markets in March 2026. You have a chance to take a look at this one?
Very briefly, there's so much happening here,
You
man.
see, this guy does homework. He actually knows what he's talking about because he does the work ahead of time. I just opened this link for the first time.
Yeah, I wish I could be like Action and know what I'm talking about on the fly. There's a lot of different stuff, man. Federal Reserve's interest rates on March 18th. We have US CPI and core CPI data releases on March 11th. The New York Fed is scheduled for approximately $13.4 billion in reinvestment and $40 billion in reserve management purchases around March 20. Lots of different stuff,
12,
man.
12, 12,
Lots of different
12.
stuff. Regulatory and
That's,
policy catalysts with Korea's Digital Asset Task Force integrated plan. World Liberty Financial, man, they're doing an airdrop to USD1 holders on Binance.
mm-hmm.
They're doing a lot of different stuff, man, and some token unlocks to pay attention to, guys. Let me see here. Lots of different stuff, man. Any of these that stand out to you the most?
Yeah,
Um,
Polkadot.
Polkadot, man. What's
So their
Polkadot doing?
first issue reduction on March 14th, dropping from 120 to 55 million in new token issuance. Um, you guys got to remember this is new token issuance, so it's not. It's they're calling it deflationary. It's deflationary in the sense that less is going to be emitted, not that it's going
Mm.
to stop printing. So that's why I think that one is one to watch out for. Is you got to read between the lines and actually understand what it means. Is it a net positive? Sure, but ultimately, all they're saying is that they're going to print less.
Mhm.
That's all it is. So be careful to where, how you read these headlines, because even when there's a full article around it, you might not get the full understanding of it until you actually look deep down into it. So to me, that's a big one. That's actually another one that I think is really important. Hyperliquid team unlocked 176,000 hype worth approximately 4.8 million in March. Um, that's not a bad payday.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Hyperliquid has been making money hand over fist, guys, and like I'm getting hit up. I actually this week I got hit up by two people asking, "Hey, can you connect me with somebody at Hyperliquid?" Um, Not only are they making money, people want to work with them still. So their model just works. So yeah, those are the things to watch out for. It's like watch out for the things that actually work. The nice shiny new token, it sounds really cool, but the ones that have been around and have been profitable are the ones to watch out for long term. And it doesn't mean they're going to be around forever, but it means that they still have really good momentum and you can make money off of those, those plays. And people forget about it. They're like, oh, it's old news. It's not going to be worthwhile anymore. Like, well, people need money, especially when money is scarce. Hyperliquid comes in and goes, we have money. And yeah, people just drool over what they're capable of accomplishing when partnerships are struck.
Absolutely, man. I'm really impressed with Hyperliquid and how, they've been able to absolutely crush it after all these years and actually build a real sustainable business model and a product that people want to use post TGE, right? I think that's something we talk a lot about on our spaces and it's really fascinating, but I think the whole narrative around doing a token launch is great, but in many cases that is the only thing that a lot of these projects are selling, the vision and the speculation behind that. But we gotta throw the flowers to Hyperliquid because they've done a very good job sticking around all these years and maintaining their user base and retaining users and still running a real business out here. So it's something you don't
A
see very much in this
100%.
industry.
And again, Michelle, I just realized like we literally have like a few dozen articles that we can pull up and things that have been prepped for us. Instead of doing that, I'm gonna let you pick whatever you think is best and just go for it with each one.
Yeah,
Is that a
totally.
Machu Picchu mug?
Hey, brother, yeah, I brought it from Peru, man. My family gave it to me.
You're Peruvian.
I am Peru. My mother's from Peru. Third world, guys, third world. No, don't quote me on that.
Yeah, but
Let's
you
talk a
just brought
little.
up a great point as far as the markets are concerned. Crypto lives in a infinite game, right? I don't know if you've ever heard the explanation of what the infinite game really is, but winning doesn't mean being better than somebody else. Winning in the space means sticking around long enough to actually
Mm,
make some money. So as long as you're not folding, you're winning. Which is kind of wild to say, but it's true. It's true. Like if you're just not quitting, if you're sticking around, that is a huge win. That's how Apple has been so successful in comparison to Microsoft. And this is wow. There's a book on this. I can link y'all to it if you're all interested. But Apple doesn't look at okay, what did Microsoft do and how can we do it better? They're saying screw Microsoft. I don't really care. I'm going to do my own thing, and that has been very good for them. Your Zune meetings, right? I don't know if you guys remember the Zune that was supposed to compete with the iPod. They were angry because like, why are we selling as much as the iPod? Why can't we do a better product than them? Why can we modify this? Well, Apple, they basically banned the word Zune at their offices. They're like, we
mm,
don't care. We don't want to know what other people are doing. We're going to do something better and we're going to compete with ourselves year after year, which means that they have no competition. Even when people are trying to compete with them, they don't look at them as competitors. They just look at what they're doing and push forward with it. That's the crypto markets, guys. That's the space that we're in. You can't be looking left and right, going, okay, what are they doing? What are they doing? How can I do it better than them? It's like, how can I do better? And period in the story. Those are the real winners. Anytime you start comparing yourself to somebody else, I promise you, um, things are going to go south. Things are going to go south real quick.
Absolutely. Comparison is also the thief of joy and will rob you of your sanity in these markets. So, yeah, I totally agree, and I love that you mentioned that, on the business side, I think, doing market research and looking at what competitors are doing is great, but if you just focus on building the best product ever and the best service, like, you don't need to pay attention to what the competitors are doing because 'cause you're already focused on delivering the best thing for your audience, and I think same thing within these markets, right? If you're always worried about what other people are saying, crypto's a scam and all this different stuff, you're gonna fumble your bag so quick. You're gonna regret it in the next 5 to 10 years. So I totally agree, man. This is a game of survival, like business. Those that are able to survive and stick around and be relevant when people focus on other things, they're eventually gonna come back. And I think it's the same thing with the markets right now. Things have been how they have been, but give it another 6 to 12 months, give it another couple of years, if anything, everybody's gonna come back. And those that stuck around the most, I've seen it enough times. This is essentially my third cycle. I've been around since 2017. I've seen a lot of folks come and go. They do this every time. When the money starts coming back in, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what's going on over there?"
I've always been in
And
crypto, guys. What are you talking about?
yeah, that crypto thing, huh? It's like, yeah, no,
Now
we've been
check
we've
this
been here.
out. This is a good one. So DePIN tokens lag revenue rises as sector is forced into fundamentals.
I love that.
Good. Good. People are looking at this as a negative thing. Like, no, I freaking love this. This
It's the
is
most positive
great.
thing you could read. What do you mean?
I know, right? And I'll tell you guys something. Like, I profit off of deep end products a lot more than most people, and it's not because I'm a I have a magic crystal ball. That's not it. I just look at exactly what this says. It's the fundamentals. Like, do they have a business? Do they have a hobby? Deep in Unleashed is one of the best like resources you guys can go to. They're on X for some of these things. They just outline who actually has a real business, which is pretty cool. He's way smarter than me. I will say that. Tyler is his name. He's just freaking awesome at math. Way better than I ever will be. But I'll let you in this little secret, Marcello. You know how I make money off of Deep End, like really real money?
Yeah, give us the secret here on a live stream. I want to hear it.
I get them to have pilots with different countries around the globe before they even launch their token. So now I already have a
Mm,
supply allocation for this specific one, for example, that the token hasn't even been launched. So when it launches, my bag that might have been worth 50,000 is going to be worth a lot because I
mm.
already like when they launch as a crypto token, there's already revenue coming in. There's already a real business built behind it. They're not like coming to crypto to try to build a business. They're building a business and then applying crypto to it. That's the key to success is by being successful, not trying to have crypto make you successful. Otherwise, you just get the airdrop crowd that comes over to try to get something and then leaves after they got something. Like that's never a viable option. But if you focus on real businesses, man, like it just goes such a long way because you're focusing on what's actually going to generate revenue long term. And yeah,
Which is like the most important thing because we're building businesses out here.
you would think.
Yeah, I don't know who said this before, but I think it was Luca Nets or somebody. But like a token is a lagging indicator of, I forget what the last word was, whether it's success or you fill in the blank. But following price action is great, but it is not an indicator of what's really going on behind the scenes. And I think that more often than not, especially in the market that we're in, having been in this industry the last couple of years, you're gonna want to look. The biggest green flag is the fact that these businesses are generating rails that are generating revenue. And token price could come and go. Once liquidity starts coming back into crypto and all this stuff, like the token will get impacted in a positive light, but you want to make sure that there's rails for the business to thrive, regardless of token go up, go down. And I think that I get really fired up when I see stuff like that because I know that a lot of the folks want to see their bags go up, but guys, think about it, right? It's the same thing with it, like investing in a business and looking at a stock price. If the business continues to grow, if Amazon continues to grow and make revenue every year, yeah, okay, their stock might be down today. Let's check back in a couple years and see where it's at, right? And it's like that's something I think a lot about that isn't talked about enough. I know for a moment we talked about the revenue meta in crypto, which is so funny to me. But it's one of the most important things when it comes to all of this. And you want to look for the businesses that are building sustainable rails to make money. outside of their token price. And again, token will come and go. It will go up eventually if they're making money anyway, right? It's a game of survival. If they're not making money, they're gonna shut down those doors anyway, and that token's gonna be worth zero
Whoa,
anyway, right?
what?
So
Wait, you're saying like major crypto tokens actually shut down?
yeah, apparently they do. I don't know, man. If they lose money, like all this stuff goes away, man. Crazy stuff,
Um,
man.
I'm only doing this for my fans that love to LARP on this very unfortunate incident that we all lost some. I didn't lose money. I'm okay actually, but um, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Boom.
Give it to me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
so
they
catch me. Did
literally
they do their TG yet? Is this it? This is it. Oh my
this is
god.
Cadena, bro. This is Cadena. They were like on. They were in top 50, like
I'm
back in
Polygon, no?
2021.
Yeah, insane, dude.
So they are in L1. Technically, the L1's still
Oh,
working,
I remember
but
them.
they're proof of work. So people are still mining, but the team sold off everything they had. So it's down to almost half a cent in comparison to what it was, which was, I mean, the peak was over actually $24.
My god.
Yeah, it was wild times, wild times. So isn't it clear
Actually.
that this is a dead project?
Oh my god.
Can I reply? Oh, I got
Oh
to log in. I was
goodness.
like, oh, tell me about it, Captain Obvious.
Yes, thanks for giving us the report.
No, but it's wild to think about. Like, yeah, L1s they fold. People that aren't making money, they're not going to stick around. There's no way for them to stick around. If you don't make money, you don't have revenue to show for. You can only live off of VCs for so long. These guys, Cadena came from Chase, dude. They were the guys that were actually building Chase's blockchain infrastructure, and man,
It's
they
insane.
they
That's
pooped the
why
bed.
when you see these projects that raise $10 million, 20, 30, whatever the list, even chains that raise hundreds of millions of dollars, like at the end of the day, you could burn through all your runway. You need to have a sustainable model, and it's really disappointing. I come more from the Web3 gaming side of things, and I remember even talking with some folks that didn't even develop a revenue model, right? Like they were gonna all figure that out after everything was put together. It's like, dude, that should be one of the first things you think about when building a business. It's like, how is my business going to thrive? How is it going to make money? How am I
Yep.
going to keep payroll? Because that $10 million you raised is going to go down very quickly. Devs are expensive. You're going to have to roll up updates. You're going to have to adapt to the market, and new things are going to come and go. Like, these are very important things to talk about that I hope in the next, in the midst of the next cycle, people have learned from this. And, a lot of people have shut down and a lot of people have lost money. In many cases, I like to look at half glass full. I think that was a good thing because it's flushed out a lot of the folks that don't know what the heck they're doing, and we're able to raise tens of millions with just a pitch deck and an idea, and hopefully makes room for the real builders that know what the heck they're doing and are trying to build something meaningful that will survive over the next decade plus, right? So something we need more of.
Let me ask you about AI. I just noticed we got like 10 minutes left.
Let's
How are
do
you
it.
how are you doing? Are you leveraging AI at all, or are there anything in that realm?
Absolutely. I'm such a noob, so like I'm not a developer in any way. I don't know how to code, so this whole vibe
Wait,
coding
you have
narrative has
AI.
been
You're technically a dev now.
technically right. I'm still trying to figure it out. So I got my Mac Mini. I'm absolutely obsessed with trying to set up my OpenClaw right now. I'm trying to connect it with APIs, and like I keep getting these bugs. I'm gonna have to get on a call with one of my friends that understands this stuff a bit more than I do.
You,
But
you could call me.
call up action. Okay, I'll have to call you up, bro. But yeah, no, it's
But
something
I'm
I'm
just, I'm just
thinking.
joking. You can't call me because you never added me as a contact on Telegram. I tried like sending you something and it's like, you can't call this person. You don't, they're not a contact of yours. This is
Glad you're
this is
right
what
now,
public
Maxis.
shaming looks like, guys.
But yeah, man, it's something I'm thinking a lot about. I'm still behind. I've been MIA for a little bit, but once I get everything set up, this is something that we can't avoid, and it is the future, man. How are you
Yeah.
thinking about all this?
I'm leveraging it as much as possible. So I mean, we've built dashboards. I'm building a platform right now with Claude Code. Um, I gotta say, like OpenClaw has been a game changer. We've implemented OpenClaw and created an assistant for each one of the C-level execs at my advisory firm. and we don't always talk to each other anymore. Our bots are literally talking to one another because we just talk to our bots, and
I
our
love
bots
it.
automatically update Notion, they update Sheets, they update all sorts of things for us without us even having to lift a finger. So, like, a lot of the assistants are going, "Oh, you guys already did this," and I'm like, technically, I didn't, but it got done. I think that's been the most exciting part of it. I can totally see more and more businesses have less and less people, needed to operate them simply because of the mundane tasks are being just taken up by AI. And that's why I said earlier on with the new quote unquote assistant that I just got. Um, I straight up told him, like, dude, if you're gonna be an assistant, like, I don't need you. I don't want you. I have AI to do that. I want you to be more. I want you to do better. I want you to, elevate things. And that should be the approach, right? We want to take our own skills to the next level. And if AI can take on the boring stuff, because there's plenty of things that I can do that I don't want to do, that's the goal for me. But it's also very useful. Like, I'll give you guys a tidbit that I should not tell you, but right before I jump in a call, I have no idea who I'm talking to, but there has been previous meetings. I just don't remember it, right? Like, I get on too many calls essentially, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we got a call coming up in 2 minutes. I don't remember the client. Tell me, it's already connected to my Google accounts and everything, so it knows my calendar and all that. So I just go, tell me about it, how I need to introduce myself, where we left off, and where I need to take the conversation, and it literally gives me an outline. All right, so this is where you were, this is what you're trying to achieve, and this is what you want to get to. Like, piece of
I
cake.
love
Within
that.
within literally 30 seconds, I know exactly what to say on a call.
See, and that's a perfect use case of why I think everybody needs to look into this because, when it comes to maximizing your productivity, your efficacy, your work, there's going to be little mundane little tasks that you're not going to want to do or not even think of because your brain is juggling a thousand other things. But having an
Absolutely.
agent that could script you something or fill you in the little tidbits in the little gray areas, it's not black or white. I think it's like in the gray, all the little things that you're not going to do or don't think of doing, an AI agent could do that so perfectly, and it has all your data. It's able, obviously, be mindful of how you guys do that, but plug it in with the right APIs and everything, and it's like, yo, you could do this in such an effective manner that will only improve your workflow and your productivity. So I
And
absolutely love
that's
that.
why I call my agent Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, let's
Yeah.
go. He's moonwalking
Bro, he
while he's
doesn't
giving
care
you
if
this.
it's black or white.
Yo, this guy is so quick, man. I love it. That's why he's action, man. He's always got the action, guys. Um,
That was such a cheesy joke.
that was actually really good, though. I
So
love it.
cheesy.
Oh, man. What do we have
All
with
right, man.
AI? Any news that we want to share? I know I'm looking at one of the articles here, new AI model releases. Maybe we could touch on that real quick.
I mean, there's been a lot, man, and I can tell you right
It's
now,
hard to
like,
keep up.
even this document is outdated already, right? Like, you have,
Yeah.
GPT-5 adjacent coming out. You have Gemini 3.1. Um, to me, models are no longer the thing I keep looking at because they're always getting updated now. It's not something that I am looking towards. It's something I'm kind of expecting more and more. What I'm looking for is integrations. I think that's been the key for me. So anyone that's willing to open up their platforms, provide an API so that users can actually leverage this technology to, with their services, I think that's a game changer for me. So perfect example is Cloud Code with Google Workspace. It's been
Mm,
amazing, and, like, I just literally looked this up, and I just on X real quick to see what can I find, and there are articles and articles and people just explaining how it's working, how, this stuff is actually just doing the work for you. Um, Highly recommend you guys look into this. If you use Google Workspace at all, your sheets, your docs, anything like that, it has really, like, for me, revolutionized the way that I do this, that I work on my drive, for example. So definitely one of those things that I think people should not miss out and should definitely kind of look into if you're talking about AI. But yeah, models come and go. Models going to continue to get updated. They're going to get better and better and better every time. So I kind of stopped trying to check out what's next. Like, yeah, they're all coming. There's more stuff coming, unless it's a new, brand new model and not just a version of something else that already existed. Like, I'm not that excited about it. I guess best way I can say it.
mhm. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's you gotta, I feel like also it's like a lot of like shiny object syndrome. There's gonna be a lot of different
Mm.
stuff that's gonna be happening. Focus on the things that make sense for your business, right? Not just because there's a new tool. It's like, all right, I gotta jump on every single bandwagon. Figure out what works for you. If you're looking at developing your own program, you're trying to build something, maybe play with Claude. If you're looking for an assistant, play with OpenClaw. There's going to be many different models. I think it's also good to test things out, but also don't juggle too many things that you can't focus on a single thing that you want to get done. Focus on the things that actually make sense to your business. It doesn't make sense to juggle 9 different things when half of them don't apply to what you're trying to build. So I think that's another thing, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed. I see it all the different stuff happening. I'm like, oh my god, I only have 24 hours in a day. I can't do all of this. So it's like, all right, very quickly, it's like, what am I going to prioritize? What am I going to focus on? With time, I could make a better decision and see, like, oh wait, maybe this tool is something I could use because I've done a bit of research or I've seen some things that people have talked about. But focus on things that make sense to your business, guys. So don't break your heads trying to jump on every single new shiny object that comes out in the space, because there's going to be a lot of them, and I feel like it's going to be hard to keep up with everything.
I
You're
do
going
like
to need an
shiny
AI
objects
agent to
though.
do everything for you.
I really do like shiny objects though, I gotta say.
I know we all have shiny objects, man.
Yeah. You laugh, but like I'm literally playing with a little fidget spinner right now, like
I'm
while I'm
playing with this
talking to
thing
you.
right here. This is my.
Like
Let's
I
go.
got the micro on that actually I can spin this one in my pocket.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. That's how you stay focused during your spaces, you know?
Tell me about it, man. I pace. I pace a lot too, but I gotta
Yeah,
stop so I can play music and do all that fun stuff that I usually do with it. But it's a good time. It's a good time.
it is a good time, man.
We got a
Just like
couple of minutes
listening to
left,
the news show.
Marcello. I want to make sure that we talk about the stuff you care about. Anything gaming going on? I know gaming is dead and all.
Gaming's been quiet, man. You know, there's not much stuff. You know, shout out to I was at GDC last week. I got to see a lot of the different people, Wolves DAO, and a lot of the different builders, BGA. I miss Sebastian, but we had him on a space this week. Yeah, man, gaming's been doing its thing. I think it's across the board. It's not just crypto gaming. I think just traditional gaming as well hasn't been where it's, at its hottest seat as where it could be. But very interesting, just to like I'm looking at a time just to keep it like very short. AI has been a theme that I've seen a lot, walking through the GDC conference, looking at the different booths. It's fun, man. It's really funny thinking over the last couple of years how taboo the topic of AI was, even just behind game development. And now I could at least think of a dozen different booths that I walked by that are all doing different things with AI, whether it's text to video prompt, AI, asset engineering for games, or anti cheat codes, or debugging, or the list goes on, right? So one topic that I think has been very interesting is the topic of AI in gaming and game development. I think over the next few years, we're going to see more and more of it. And, I think we're going to see a lot of slop because anybody will be able to vibe code a game. I also think at the same time, for indie devs that don't have $100 million budgets, I'm excited to see what they cook up, because with bootstrapped resources and the right creativity, you could do a lot of cool stuff. And I
Dude, you
think,
just described the best and the worst thing about AI right there.
yeah, man,
Anybody can
pros
build
and
the
cons.
best things that anybody can build software.
Exactly.
And the worst thing is that anybody can
Yeah,
build software.
it's both. It goes both ways. So yeah, I'm excited to see what
I
comes
mean, I
out of it.
personally don't, but I understand if you do.
Yeah, no, no, totally, man. And I think some
He
of our
missed
favorite games will come out of this. So we'll see. We'll see
he,
what comes out of it.
he missed that joke,
Um,
guys. He definitely missed that joke. It's okay. It's okay.
oh man, any last things we should touch on here before we wrap up the show? Any last things on your mind, actually?
Yeah. I mean, you were talking about gaming here for a second. Dude, gaming is one of those things that I'm excited for AI to see where it goes. Um, I think it's the best use case for AI, and I think people are still missing the ball on it, because NPCs being AI controlled and having the ability for people to feel like they have somebody to play with while they really are lonely and sad and living in their mom's basement is going to be a game changer. I really do think so. I think that the rate of marriage and childbirth is going to continue to go down, but it's a byproduct of technology, I guess you can say.
Yeah, at least you'll have a companion you could talk to. Even just touching on what you just said, it's interesting. I know, like, one of the world's biggest games right now, Arc Raiders, they used AI in their game
Oh yeah.
for the voices. I don't know what other stuff. I have to look at the details, but I was just reading an article before the stream here, and I'm like, oh yeah, they used it for literally making the voices that you hear in game, and it's just like, people don't care. They're playing the game. They love it. And
Right.
I remember the gaming community be like, yo, FAI, we don't need any of that. But it's like, yo, some of your favorite games are using it already. It's already here. And
It,
we're
it
gonna see it
speeds up the
more and more.
process, man. That's the thing. Like
Process.
a lot of stuff just speeds it up. Like it's the boring work that nobody wants to do. If you had to pinpoint one thing this week that really got you excited, what would that be?
One thing this week that got me excited. So many different things, man. I think survive.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you gotta build a
How
house.
many know who do not understand?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Get back at Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.